The weight of second chances. The night was cold, and so was his heart. Under the dim streetlight, David Alade sat on the edge of a cracked sidewalk, his head buried in his hands. The city moved around him, headlights flashing, horns blaring. Yet he felt invisible, like a ghost drifting through the ruins of his own life. 3 years ago, David was the man everyone admired. He had a good job at a real estate firm, a fiancée who believed in him, and friends who laughed at his jokes. But pride has a way of whispering lies, and David listened. He took shortcuts, forged a few numbers, convinced himself he was only borrowing. When the truth came out, everything crumbled. His job vanished, his friends disappeared, and the woman he loved walked away in silence. He learned painfully that rock bottom doesn't echo. It suffocates. The silence that follows failure days turned into weeks of wandering. David rented a single room beside a mechanic workshop, surviving on instant noodles and regret. Each morning, he looked into the mirror and barely recognized the man staring back, hollow eyes, stubble, and shame. One morning, as he stood outside a bakery hoping to find a little work, an old man in a dusty apron called out to him. "Young man," the baker said, "you look hungry. Come wash plates if you don't mind." David hesitated, pride rising again. Then humility pushed him forward. That was how he began washing plates for bread and tea. The baker's name was Pa Todd, a man in his 70s with a back curved by years of kneading dough. He never asked David about his past, he only said one thing. "Son, flour doesn't complain when it's beaten. It just becomes bread." A fire rekindled those words, stuck to David like sunlight on a cold day. Every dawn, as he scrubbed trays and swept floors, he watched Pa Todd bake bread, patient, gentle, precise. There was art in his simplicity, peace in his labor. One evening, when the bakery closed, Pa Todd handed David a small notebook. "I see something in your eyes," he said softly. "Not shame fire, but fire needs direction. Write down what you want your life to become and don't stop working toward it." That night, David opened the notebook and stared at the blank page. For the first time in years, he wrote, "I will rebuild my name." He started saving his small wages. He took free online courses on business and ethics at a cyber cafe nearby. When the bakery expanded, he offered to help manage records, remembering the skills he once abused. Slowly, things began to shift, not around him, but within him. Redemption in the making. A year later, the bakery became a small local brand, known for honesty and quality. One afternoon, a former colleague walked in. The man froze when he saw David behind the counter. "David, I thought you left the city." David smiled. "I almost did, but I found something better, purpose." Word spread about his transformation. The same real estate firm that once fired him invited him to speak to young interns about integrity. Standing at the podium, David's voice trembled, but not from fear, from gratitude. "Success," he said, "isn't what you build. It's what you rebuild after you've fallen." The moral years later, when Pa Todd passed away, David took over the bakery. He renamed it Second Chance Bread. Every loaf carried a small note printed on its wrapper. "You are never too broken to rise again." People came not just for bread, but for hope. David's life became living proof that redemption isn't given. It's earned piece by piece through humility, honesty, and a refusal to stay down. Final reflection. When asked in an interview how he found the courage to begin again, David smiled and said, "The world forgives faster than we forgive ourselves. I stopped asking for a lighter burden and started asking for a stronger back. That's when grace found me." And so, from a man who once lost everything, grew a legend whispered in the city streets, that sometimes failure is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a better one.